I just wanted to push back on this narrative. You hear this a lot. Imagine if Kyle Shanahan had a top tier quarterback. Can you imagine? They would be so much better.
So there is definitely a part of their fan base that thinks he's that. Certainly. But yeah, I mean, how far does that go? I don't know. And I think the 49er fan base is smart enough to know he's not Josh Allen or Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. That's for sure.
Yeah, you hear the same thing all the time from low IQ fans and YouTubers like Chris Sims, Jesse Naylor, Grant Cohn, that if only Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen was the quarterback, the 49ers would suddenly be scoring 40 points a game. That's video game logic. That's video game logic where your quarterback has an 81 on Madden, right? His quarterback traits are 81, and your team scores 20 points a game. But if you jack up the quarterback traits to 99, all of a sudden your team scores 40 points a game. That's video game logic. In real life, if Kyle Shanahan doesn't trust you to go through your progressions, you're gonna be throwing it 20 times a game. If you can't go through your progressions the way he wants, like Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy, then he's gonna make you run a Jimmy Garoppolo offense. You're gonna be throwing it 20 times a game, he's gonna run it a million times, and you'll be lucky to get 6 possessions. You're gonna be scoring the exact same number of points, if not fewer, with a so-called a top-tier athletic quarterback than you would with Brock Purdy. You're gonna be scoring the exact same number of points, if not fewer.
So, why are you gonna pay him? Why are you tearing down your team to pay this guy when you could find somebody else who, in tandem with Kyle Shanahan, could be a top 10 guy?
If you notice, all these low IQ YouTubers, soon after Brock Purdy became the entrenched starter, suddenly all these YouTubers were like, why isn't Kyle running the ball? Why isn't he want the ball? Run the ball, run the ball. Because he trusts Brock to run his offense. This is actually his offense. Throwing the ball is actually, he was a wide receiver, right? He does want to air it out. The only reason he was spamming runs in the past is because Jimmy Garbaggio was his quarterback. When he has someone that sees the field like he does, he's going to want to air it out. So you're not going to be scoring any more points with Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen than you would with Brock Purdy because you're going to have less possessions. You're going to have less opportunities to score. The way I would describe it is like NFL fans sort of look at quarterbacks like big-chested women.
Unequivocally, unquestionably, I got 100% dead on accurate.
Your boy Trevor Lawrence made a statement against the Chargers yesterday. You tweeted after the game, Trevor Lawrence has officially become a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
I've heard Nick Wright say, oh my gosh, Kyle Shanahan would trade Brock Purdy for Trevor Lawrence in a second because he's big. Or he would trade Brock Purdy for Kyler Murray in a second because Kyler Murray's fast and athletic. NFL fans view quarterbacks like big women. They want a big front and a big behind. That's all they want, okay? But Kyle Shanahan wants a trad wife in a sundress. That's what Kyle Shanahan doesn't want Sydney Sweeney. He wants a trad wife in a sundress, reading the Bible. That's what Kyle Shanahan wants. What these fans are doing is the equivalent of like I can't believe Ben Affleck is with Jennifer Gardner at this age. If it were me, if I could have any woman I want, I would choose such and such. But they're not Ben Affleck. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Shanahan doesn't want who you want. Kyle Shanahan wants a trad wife in a sundress reading the Bible. That's what he wants. Sorry, you're not Kyle. Kyle doesn't want who you want. I'm not saying Kyle Shanahan wouldn't take Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. What I'm saying is if he had his druthers, he would take Joe Burrow, injury history notwithstanding. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy. He doesn't want a guy running around in circles. That's not what he wants. That's not what he wants. And you guys keep trying to put your own preferences onto Kyle, but he doesn't want what you want. Get over it. All right, now let's get to some comments. Interestingly, after having defended Brock Purdy, I now have to respond to Brock Purdy fans who are mad at me because I said Brock Purdy choked in the Cleveland game. Dude, Brock threw for 100 yards. We were on top of the world. We had just defeated the Dallas Cowboys. We were the best team in the league, and we were going in to face a Cleveland team that was absolutely decimated by injuries, and Brock Purdy threw for like 100 yards. Because why? Because it was drizzling? Because a couple of players were... Debo? I thought Debo sucked. You guys said Debo is worthless and he sucks, but because Debo is gone, that's your freaking excuse? I thought you said he sucked! Why can't you guys accept... Why? He's not God. You guys know that, right? Brock Purdy is not God. He does have bad games. You understand, right? What is wrong with... He's not Jesus. It's okay to say he had a... It's okay to blame him sometimes. When a starting quarterback in the NFL on the best team in the league throws for... It's okay to say you choked. You choked against a terrible team. It's okay. It's okay. He's not, you know, in the name of the Father and Brock Purdy, relax, please. I said Pete Carroll looked like a dork at the coach's photo. Susan disagrees. She says Pete Carroll is attractive for his age. You're absolutely right. I allowed my hatred of the Seahawks to cloud my judgment. I pride myself on objectivity, but in this case, I allowed my PTSD from 10 years of watching the 49ers stop the Seahawks on first down, stop them on second down, seemingly stop them on third down, only for Russell Wilson to then pirouette, chuck it, seemingly without having any clue where it's going, and for the ball to land softly in one of his mediocre receivers' hands for a first down. I allowed that PTSD to cloud my judgment, and I take it back. I take it back, Susan. You're absolutely right. Pete Carroll does look good, not just for his age. He looks good. He looks like frickin' Richard Gere. He looks like Alibaba Richard Gere. He looks like Amazon Prime Richard Gere. So, you're right, Susan. He does look good. Casey Olivieri says he never wants the 49ers to have a down year. I said, I want the 49ers to have a bad year. I don't want them to make a deep playoff run and risk injury. I want them to dump all their big name players in order to make a run for 2026, 2027, 2028. I think the Super Bowl window can be salvaged. It can be reopened. If only fans accept having a down year. Casey Olivieri says, I never want the 49ers to have a down year. I don't understand your mentality, Casey. Like, I'm not trying to argue with you, but I don't know what you mean by that. Like, I would not have fit in that suit at the wedding had I not skipped breakfast a few times. I had to suffer in order for the delayed gratification. Like, what do you mean you never want to have a down year? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying here. Like the 49ers had to have 1991 in order to have 1992, 1993, and 1994. They had to have that down year. The Chiefs had to suffer with Alex Smith for one more year until Patrick Mahomes was ready. The Eagles got a Super Bowl because they suffered through a down year the year before. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand your mentality, Casey. I'm not trying to fight with you. You seem like a nice guy. I appreciate your comments and everything. But what are you saying? What do you mean? I don't understand that mentality. It's honestly driving me a little bit crazy. This unwillingness to accept delayed gratification. Like it's maddening to me, Casey. Like I'm so angry.